Good evening, Drew.
Hey, Paul, I'm late because I'm a terrible person.
No, you're not a terrible person.
Oh. Ah, boy, it's been a week. It's been another week.
Yeah, what's going on?
Oh, I just have had a roller coaster of a week with my work, and I'm glad that it is almost the end of the week.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Me too, buddy. Me too.
Yeah, what's going on with you? What's going on with your work?
Oh, just, we have a big project wrapping up on Monday, of all things. So I've just been getting ready for that and, just hashtag middle management stuff. What are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm just all over the place. I had some really big presentations this week. They all went fine. They went fine. Good. And then next week I'm gearing up for a few more. So it's fine.
It's fine.
Everything's fine.
It's fine.
Okay. All right. We got an agenda here. Boy, you've got an agenda. Which I like because I feel like I do most of the talking sometimes, and people are probably sick of me. So
we have Drew heavy episodes and we have Paul heavy episodes, and all right. The two of these things on the list are really, really short. I think. Who knows? Who knows? You never know.
It's true. Do we have any follow up before we need to get going?
I don't think so. Do you have anything?
I don't think so. I got to add one thing to the list.
Ooh. I mean, we have gotten some positive feedback for our idea for live streaming the next episode. So,
yeah. Okay, so let's talk about that. We last episode. If you're just catching up, we made the announcement that we are going to live stream our 50th episode, which I do want to talk about some logistical things live on air and both off air today. I saw some tweets that people would be into it. It seems like most people will do their best to attend.
Yep.
Some people won't because time zones. But I only saw what I saw.
It'll still be available on YouTube. Yeah. So I had someone reach out to me via text, and he's very excited. And I mean, we saw a few. So I mean, who knows? We could have absolutely no one on there, but we can still record it and still put it on the YouTube. So
yeah. Yeah, we did. You got some of the logistical stuff done last episode. I think we're pretty much there. It's just a question of probably getting together a little sooner than our average start time, and then making announcements probably this week. So, what do you say we go ahead and tackle that now? So,
okay.
So live streamed episode next week. We record on Thursdays. So Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is hold on 9 p.m.
Which is
to GMT.
Which is who cares, because we live in the only true time zone. So
it's true. So I'm pretty sure that is 1 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, or I don't know, one of those universal time zones. We will basically tweet out a series of links to our now new YouTube channel where we will be streaming live.
Yep.
We will encourage people to come in and comment as we record. Come in and say hi or comment and tell us how bad we are at this. Either way, it'll be great.
Yeah, either way. I'm excited. This will be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I've got some specialty things I think that will be lined up before that happens. Let's just dive right in. So, I recently came into possession of some Amazon gift cards, which, I went Amazon diving.
Oh.
And I made a purchase, Paul.
Okay. What did you get?
Okay, let me just drop the link in show notes here, and I'll let you see what I'm up to.
Okay.
God damn it. I got to sign back into everything. Hold on. Thank God for password managers.
Yep.
One-time passwords. Literally the reason I was late is I got a bunch of Windows patches, which, Windows is like, well, you better re-authenticate to everything there, chum. And I literally had to sign into Skype, and I got some new version of Skype now where it's like, check out all these cool new features, and it's just like took me forever to get signed in. Okay, here, all right, so I ordered GVM RGB video lights with app, all caps, control, 50 watt, 360 degree full color LED video lights, dimmable photography lighting video kit with 8 applicable scenes, 2 packs LED panel lights, 3200K to 5600K.
Link. Link, I need these.
Wow! Oh no! I made a mistake. Oh no, my links. Hold on. Notepad. That was not how that was supposed to work. Hold on. We take this over to Notepad.
You can always paste without formatting. I'm not sure.
No, I'm not on my Mac. Right there.
Wow, that's a totally visual gag. That's not going to make any sense.
No, for a brief second, thanks to the undo button, we almost ruined the doc.
Oh wow, those are hardcore.
Yeah, that's pretty hardcore, right?
Oh my God, you're gonna look so good, and I'm gonna look so washed out and trashy.
I'm gonna be colorful. Okay, now all right. Here's my predicament.
Wow. Okay.
In my basement, I have not a lot of space. I think you've seen my basement.
I have.
It's not very big. Mm-hmm. My computer that I do my podcasting from is in a little cubby corner of my basement. So what I need to do is figure out a way to get one of those lights in front of my face. Yeah. And I don't have any good options right now. Elgato makes a really nice what they call multi-mount. But literally everything Elgato is sold out everywhere. God. What I would love to have is this thing that I just dropped the link in the show notes to. Okay. Where I could put that on my desk and with the articulating arm be able to position it around and get good lighting on my bald head. Okay. I want a couple of those so I could put a couple of lights on my desk.
Got it. So basically, what Drew has dropped into the chat are these are serious large banks of LED and the LED panel light. Yeah, then it looks. How big are these things each? Does it have some specs? Is one of those things where the picture's deceptively and it's not that big? Or are these no? It's bigger. They are showing them being used at a runway fashion model kind of situation. So these are hardcore.
Yeah, there's something.
These are professional.
So wow. Okay, so listen. Okay. Let's just get this out of the way. Okay. They were $400. Okay, yeah. and now hold on. Yeah,
I'm holding.
I'm going to justify myself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's the deal. If I'm going to really get into streaming, right? There are a list of things there are a list of boxes that I need to tick. One of those is a webcam with good lighting. Now, right now, I have access to a Logitech 4K webcam, but the light sensor in it is awful. So, when I have previously done web trainings, typically what I do is, prior to me buying these boys, I would basically take my desk, rotate it 90 degrees, and move it literally into the center of my basement. And then behind the desk, out of camera and facing me, I have studio lights that are CFL bulbs. And they are relatively warm color temperature, and I would put those shining on me. And with proper lighting, this is a really, really good webcam. In low lighting, it absolutely sucks. And as my desk sits right now, the lighting is awful. So what I need to do is either move my desk and put these LED lights in a position where they can shine on me, or get something that I can mount to my desk and then mount these lights on. The reason I went with these LED lights is I can change the color. Yep. So I can change color temperature. I can also change color hue. And I can have one be blue, one be orange, and have some color effects. And when you're bald, that really stands out. And I have grand plans, but what I'm hampered in right now, like I said, is where am I going to mount these lights? So I want one of those multi-mounts that I could mount, because if you look at the picture, they literally screw onto the side of your desk. You put one there, and I could screw a light into it as long as it could hold the weight, and I could position it around. But this particular product, in fact, all of this company's products are sold out everywhere, or I would have 3 of them by now, and I could mount these lights, or I could mount these lights wherever I want. But anyway, I'll have that figured out hopefully by the next live episode. If anything, I'll just wheel my desk out and do it, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm worried about lighting for my desk. I don't have an overhead light, and my light is behind me, and that's not a good place for a light. So I may be jury rigging some lighting for next week, but we'll see. Or I just look like crap. That's an option too. So
do you want to borrow one of these lights or one of my incandescent lights?
You know what? I'll get back to you on that. I'm going to try some stuff over this weekend and see how good it works.
All right.
So
Yeah, because I've got those those incandescent ones that work. They work really well, but the problem is they're one color temperature, right? So if you want to change the temperature on them, you have to change the bulb. This is through the magic of LEDs and barn doors and diffusers.
Magic.
Literally any color I want. And yeah, they're pretty substantial. They're pretty substantial, and they could run off batteries.
Okay.
If I
that's
wanted
nice.
them to.
That's a nice feature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what kind. But here's the thing: they are extremely bright. Like even at low brightness, if you make the mistake of looking up where the lights are, your retinas pay for it dearly.
Got it. Oh.
So that's going to be the other challenge, is putting them in a location where it's like not going to be shining directly into my eye sockets. Okay. Enough of my spending habits. So you've brought some topics this week. Let's jump right in.
This one's real short. So I spend a lot of time at the computer now. A lot of time on video chats and stuff like that. And I have a few options at my disposal for both sides of the audio, right? Both capturing my voice and hearing things. And I have been using this pair of Sennheiser. It's a gaming headset, plugs in the USB, and it's fine. It's fine. They're not super comfortable, and I really hate like the headset mic sticking out in front of my face. And I've been using them, literally for how long has this been going on? Like 5-6 weeks. And today I had the epiphany of, well, I really like the headphones I normally wear, and I have this like $250 microphone sitting literally attached to my desk. So today I decided, you know what? I'm using my podcasting mic for Teams meetings, and I am just incredibly happy now.
All right. So let me dive in for a second here.
Yep.
I also use a studio mic for my work when I'm doing online presentations and things. But here's the question I have for you, because you're a Mac user. Mm-hmm. I'm a Mac user.
Yep.
I assume that most of the time you were using your AirPods.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I have been using the Sennheiser headset for most of the time. I mean, the AirPods are great, but I usually just kind of leave those attached, like paired with my phone. So if I ever want to like bust out a podcast or something, or take a break, or take a break and listen to a podcast or something, I can do that easily without having to switch anything back and forth. And the AirPods are great, but the microphones are fine. They're fine, but everyone knows the best microphone is one closer to your mouth.
Right.
So I've been trying to use the headset for most of my meetings and stuff, and it's been fine. But the real issue is I like listening to music all the time, and I have a really nice set of headphones that I use for that. And every time I want to have to go to a meeting, I have to stop. I have to take my headphones off. I have to grab my headset, plug it in. Then I have two sets of cables coming from my computer, not just one. And then when I'm done with the meeting, I have to unplug the headset and put it down, because otherwise it gets all tangly. And then I realized if I can just if I just use my podcasting setup, I can use my headphones I can have the same pair of headphones on all day, not have to switch anything back and forth. And I got this really nice boom arm that my mic is on. I can swing it out of the way when I'm done, swing it over when I need to talk, and plus I look fancy. So
yeah. Like I said, I do the same thing, because whenever I bought my nice microphone, I had replaced a somewhat less nice microphone. So this is the good microphone that I use for gaming and podcasting and streaming. But up on my work computer, I also have a boom mic. But my problem is that on the Mac, because most of the day I kind of go back and forth between my AirPods and that, it can lead to some interesting setups in Teams. Teams on the Mac is sometimes not great about picking what source you're currently using.
No, it almost picks your devices as if by random sometimes.
Yeah. So sometimes I think I'm on my AirPods and everybody says you're really quiet, and I take that to mean that Teams is using my other microphone and not the one that is right next to my mouth. And yeah. Otherwise, no, it works really well.
Yeah. I just wanted to share that. It's it makes me happy. I have like nothing but meetings all day tomorrow. So,
what microphone do you use again?
I have a you know what? Let me make sure I grab the right thing, and I'll put it in the notes. I believe it's the Shure Beta 87A. It is.
I've always known you were a beta boy.
Mm-hmm. I want to put that in the show notes. It's nice, but you have to get very close. You have to get very close to the mic.
Yeah, you gotta be all up in it.
Yeah, you gotta be right up in there. It's a super cardioid or whatever, and if you're, you get too far back away, you start sounding like this.
Yeah, like you start to get away from your mic, and then sometimes you have to yell, and sometimes you're far away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, well, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I see the next topic. We're gonna skip over that one for the moment.
Okay.
But talk to me about a series of events in your house.
Yeah. So, I think I mentioned this on the podcast before. My favorite video game of all time is The Last of Us, and The Last of Us Part 2 is coming out really, really soon. In fact, it comes out June 19th, which is a Friday. And I realized that, my birthday is actually that following Monday, so I should just take Friday and Monday off to play video games.
As one does.
So that's what I did. My plan is to play The Last of Us until literally my fingers fall off. But given the fact that game's coming out on my birthday, and it is my birthday and all, I got to thinking like, should I ask for something for my birthday? Because I don't always ask for anything, right? Sometimes I just like, it's the kids can make me something or get me something, and I really don't care. But I've been kind of angling. So where I play, and obviously I'm a filthy console gamer. Where I game, I have this old Samsung 1080p television, and it's fine. It continues to work. The bezels are like so thick, it's embarrassing. But I was like, you know what? Like, I've been kind of angling to get a nice like 4K television in there, and I don't want to spend a lot of money, but I wanted to get something my focus was getting something that was good for gaming, right? HDR and low response times and low input lag and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I should. Talking to Jennifer, I'm like, hey, I should get a TV, and she's like, she finally caved. She's like, fine, just get whatever you want. Just like don't, as long as it's not too expensive, get whatever you want. The TV I have right now is 46 inches, right? And the room's not very big, so I kind of figured, a 55-inch television would be perfect. But of course, I can't just buy a television because a 55-inch television is too big for the furniture that my current television is sitting on. So I had to select a piece of furniture because I don't like mounting my televisions on the wall. A lot of people do. More power to you. I don't like the look of it. I don't like having to run cables through my walls. I just like having a nice piece of particle board furniture that I assemble together and I slap the TV on. So then I had to, pick out a piece of furniture. And so I've picked out the television. I've picked out the TV stand. But now, because of those two things, I am now shopping for couches to replace the furniture that is up there as well. So yeah, it's just this chain of events it literally went from me thinking I'm gonna take a couple days off for my birthday and play a video game to shopping for couches. And shopping for couches in the age of the coronavirus basically means going onto websites and hoping they have some sort of like see it in your room in VR. And trying to get that to work. So I have not picked out a couch yet. I have some that I've marked as potentials, but yeah, a video game made me go furniture shopping, Drew.
Okay. All right. Let's unpack. There's a lot here to unpack. Let's work backwards. Okay, what do you look for in a couch?
Well, usually comfort is the number one. In our living room, we have a big sectional. It's a huge piece of furniture, but it's very nice. It's very comfortable. Big fluffy cushions. It's very nice. It's great to take a nap on. Unfortunately, comfort is the one thing you cannot measure when you're shopping online. You can't sit on it. So you kind of have to go by reviews, and that is exceedingly difficult.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, I think color, well, my wife will pick the color because that's, she has ultimate decorating authority in the house. But we tend to do, for our couches, a lot of grays. We've had a lot of gray couches. We did have one purple couch, and it was wonderful, but that's enough. That couch is no longer
purple couch.
It was purple. That couch is no longer with us. We had that a very long time ago, but it was purple and it was beautiful and we loved it.
Okay.
Oh,
so what do you how do I say this? Where how do I put this? Are there couches from places that you definitely don't want to buy a couch from?
At this point, I'm just desperate to find a couch. I don't want to spend. I don't want to spend too much money, but it's one of those things where I'm trying to find the sweet spot where I know that if I only spend $300 on a couch, I'm going to get a $300 couch. It's not going to be very high quality. It's probably not going to last long. But I don't need to spend thousands of dollars on this piece of furniture either. It's going to be upstairs. It's not going to be, it's basically just going to be my butt sitting in it for most of the time. I'm the only one that uses the television upstairs at all. So I know it's just going to be for me. I would like it to be long enough for me to nap on or sleep on in a pinch.
Sure. I mean, who doesn't want that?
Who doesn't want that? So that basically, I can't look for love seats or kind of smaller apartment or dorm furniture, right? Because I'm 6 foot whatever, and if I'm going to stretch out on a couch, I don't like having my feet push against the armrests. So that's a me thing. But compared to shopping for a couch, shopping for a TV these days is easy.
Okay. All right. So talk to me, and that was where I was going to go next. Yep. So tell me what TV you picked.
Okay. So I use the wonderful site, ratings.rtings.com. Rtings. That's how I choose to pronounce it. I'm not sure how it's really pronounced. I use that website, and I went through, and they have an article about basically picking the best televisions for 4K gaming, and that's what I was kind of looking at. And they rate all of this stuff, and all kinds of metrics. And actually, another great thing that Rtings does is they have articles for how to calibrate your television to make it look better. Because a lot of times televisions come out of the box just oversaturated, and they have motion blurring on. And all kinds of weird crap. So what I actually ended up with was I will drop a link if I can find it. I'm prepared. I'll drop the Amazon link because that's easier. If I can find it. Wow, my wife has ordered lots of stuff on Amazon. I have to scroll way down. I ended up ordering a TCL 55-inch 6 Series 4K QLED television. The Q stands for quantum.
The Q stands for quantum.
It sure does. And I can tell you what that means in a second.
Okay.
Basically, it is it's the best budget pick you can get for a 4K gaming television. Given the fact that I only wanted a 55-inch and I didn't want an OLED because I didn't want to spend the money on that, at least quite yet, and I did not want to buy a Samsung television because reasons. I I pretty much ended up looking at the between like some LG televisions and this TCL. But looking at looking at Artings and looking at all the specs, the things that were important to me, the TCL did better. It's got really good contrast. It's got a great picture, and it's basically it's really good for video games, right? The input lag is really low, which is important because you don't want, when you push a button, you want to see what happens on the screen immediately and not wait for, it to process.
Oh, sure.
And it was only, it was on sale for $550. So, boom, I pulled the trigger. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's that's really good, and I'm happy that you're going to get it.
Yeah.
So obviously this game is still a little ways away.
About a month.
Yeah. So when is all your other fun stuff coming?
So I have the furniture. It's sitting in the box in the garage. The television is supposed to arrive on Monday, but it has not shipped yet. And every day that it doesn't ship, I fear more and more that it's going to be shipped by Amazon fulfillment, and I worry that my television is going to end up on someone else's porch. So I'm just
question.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we have tread very familiar ground with you and your continuing war with Amazon.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not trying to be negative here, but have you ever had a TV shipped before?
I have never had a TV shipped before. I've always done like local pickup of my television. This is the first time I'm ever having a television delivered to me.
Huh. Mm-hmm. And what was your rationale about local pickup, Paul?
Mostly I don't like leaving my house. So, and plus also like we buy a lot of stuff from Amazon. We have the Amazon credit card. If I buy it from Amazon, I get them points. Points. So mostly it was I wanted the television to come to me and I have to go get the television. So that was my rationale.
And you're not overly concerned with the transit of a big piece of glass in a box from people.
Worst case scenario, it arrives broken and I have to like go give me another television or cancel the order and go somewhere else. But
you're very brave.
You're very brave. I am hopeful. I mean, people get television shipped every single day, and at least some of those have to come not damaged, right? I am less worried about it coming damaged than I am worried about it being shipped to the wrong person's house.
Title. I'm sure they won't come damaged. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right.
I mean,
well, definitely drop a. Definitely make sure that we got the TV link in there because I know people TVs are one of those things that they're so much cheaper than they used to be. But I still find it interesting that you can still spend a lot of money on a TV if you really want to.
Yeah. I mean, obviously.
And TCL, by the way, great brand.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely seem to punch above their weight class as far like with their price, right? They definitely compete with much more expensive televisions. So I'm not sure how they're managing to do that.
Well, TCL did to Vizio what Vizio did to everybody else.
Yeah.
Right?
Got it. Okay. Here, I'm going to drop the review of the Artings review as well. And like the thing is I was looking, is like I would find a television that looked really good. And then you start looking into it. And like that's one of the things that like Artings has is they have in all of the reviews, they have a section called differences where they basically say, okay, this is like the different model numbers for each size class. And here's where they differ. And a lot of times for a lot of brands, I'm looking at you, Samsung and LG, the 55-inch, they cheap out. Like it has a lower refresh rate. It has way fewer dimming zones. Like they really kind of make the 55-inch kind of the budget pick. And that kind of made me mad where, I mean, obviously like the smaller TV is going to have, an LED television can have like less dimming zones because it's smaller. But this 55-inch television has the same, guts and internals as the 65. And that made me very happy. So Yeah. Oh, see, and the Q for quantum, it's all about. So, right, LCD TVs have an LED back panel that provides the illumination, and it is hard. Basically, the quantum's all about getting true whites, because it's hard to get whites from, when you're shining a red, green, and blue LED and combining those to make white. So basically, the light shines through a quantum filter, which changes the color temperature of the light to be true white. It helps with, because TVs that don't have this have to overcompensate for that by making other parts of their pixels brighter or not. So it kind of just allows for a more uniform, more natural looking color. It does make them a little dimmer, so you do have to watch if you're in a particularly bright room. You have to kind of watch out for that, but I don't really have that problem where I'm going. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. Yeah.
Okay.
Quantum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really. Yeah. It sounds like you're going to have a really good experience.
I hope so.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So let's move on to your next topic here. So hit me with this next one.
So, I've talked about my son a little bit before on the podcast, and talked about his health problems and things like that. And the important thing to note for this conversation is he is on immunosuppressants, which puts him squarely in the high risk category for COVID-19. So, to be completely blunt, since this whole lockdown started, I don't think he has definitely not left the house. He's only gone outside for maybe 5 minutes. He's mostly just been staying inside because outside is full of other people and we can't control other people coming up to him. And just to kind of keep him safe, he has not left the house. I don't think he's really complained. He gets to play a lot of video games and he is really enjoying that. But because of his health problems and his history, he has certain obligations. And one of those is getting blood work, getting labs done frequently. And it has come time for him to get labs drawn. So tomorrow he is venturing out of the house to a local hospital to get blood drawn. And I'm a little nervous.
And the nervousness is the fact that you have to go out and about.
He has to go out and about. Yeah. Yes. And my wife is going to be the one to end up taking him, and she's relatively calm and relaxed about the whole thing. But and he's going to wear a mask, and he's going to stay in the car instead of the waiting room, and it's the hospital, everyone's going to be wearing masks, right? And hopefully everything is clean. But it still just makes me nervous because hospitals are where sick people go, and and that's where he has to go. And yeah.
No, I get it. Yeah, I get it.
It's nerve wracking.
Well, let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. How does he feel about all this?
I haven't. That's a good question, Drew. I have not asked him.
Because listen, I'm not a parent and I can't empathize, but I have to imagine as a parent, you're obviously very concerned.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering how he feels about it, because he's pretty much a fully formed human. Yeah. He's a really smart and with it kid. I have to think that he kind of knows the risks, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, he's definitely well aware of the risk, and and he knows, even as Ohio is kind of slowly opening itself back up and businesses are coming backing up, he understands that we're basically going to continue to live how we're living now. All of our groceries are going to be, delivered to the car. We're not going to go into any place we don't need to. When we do go out, we're going to be wearing a mask, limit our trips as much as possible, stay away from people, packages get quarantined in the garage for a couple of days just to be safe. And we're going to continue to live like that. And mostly because of, to be blunt, because of him. If he wasn't in that situation, we might order a pizza, but we don't because that involves someone coming to our house. Just, even though the risk is low, it's not zero. So, we're taking as much precautions, and yeah, it's just, this is the first time that he has to go out into the world. And if you look at the numbers, like, hey, like there's more COVID cases now than when we started shutting everything down. So
sure.
Yeah, that's frightening. But
I mean, a little,
yeah. I mean, at least it is to me. I'm apprehensive, and I'm sure everything's going to be okay, and I'm sure the people that work at the labs understand his situation, and I mean, they're being careful for everybody, but they know what's going on with him, so hopefully they're just a little bit more careful, and yeah, it's still just I'm probably going to be a hot wreck for like 2 weeks until I know he's not sick. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, buddy, I mean, it's one of those things where I don't really have a ton of balm to soothe you with that one. I mean, I think as long as everybody takes the proper precautions, I think that's the best you can kind of do, right?
Yeah. I mean,
and it's one of those things where he has to get this done.
Oh,
right? Like,
yes, yeah. I mean, this is just like the first part of it too. Like in, I think my wife said like in June he has to travel down to Cincinnati to visit his oncologists. To basically do a follow up to make sure like, hey, still cancer free, and that'll be a bigger deal because that'll be a whole trip out to Cincy. But this is the ripping the Band-Aid off, right? So this is in a little way, this is kind of like our first steps of getting back to normal.
Right.
And I'm still a little I'm nervous. Hopefully everything's gonna go okay, but I just wanted to share that with you and our wonderful listeners. So yeah, send happy thoughts.
I mean, I mean, that's part of the reason the podcast exists, right? It's a chance for you and I to talk and be intimate with ourselves and our like 6 listeners. Yeah. And I just,
it's at least 40 listeners, Drew. It's at least 40.
Yeah. It's cathartic, right? Like it is kind of good to talk about these things. I mean, I think,
get it off my
chest.
The
best thing. Yeah, exactly. And I think the best thing I can do is basically say, I support you.
Yeah,
and if there's anything I can do other than keep you guys in my thoughts, and if there's things I can do, you let me know. And that's about all we can say about it.
We're just hoping everything is gonna go peachy.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Same.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's close this out with 2 quick topics here. So the first thing I want to talk about is there was an announcement, I want to say a couple weeks ago, where there is now official support for RetroPie on the Raspberry Pi 4.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. I have been when that stuff kind of came out, I was shopping for Raspberry Pi 4s for a little bit. I didn't buy one, but I was shopping.
Mm-hmm. So I've got a handful of 4s. I've got a couple 2 gig and 4 gig Raspberry Pi 4s laying around for various projects. So I have some spares. So I gave it a whirl. Now, all right. I have done emulation with a Raspberry Pi before. Mm-hmm. I think there's people in our audience that probably have done it as well. And it's pretty straightforward. You get a memory card, you flash it with an image, you boot it up. You connect it to your Wi-Fi network, maybe. You copy some ROMs to it, and you play video games. Okay. That situation was totally fine. Everything was totally fine. It was fine. Until I tried to use RetroPie, or a Raspberry Pi in general, with a 4K television. So on the Raspberry Pi 3, it was very difficult to get reliable 4K display from the Raspberry Pi for gaming.
Really?
The HDMI and the integrated graphics controller really struggled, and it was also one of those things where it was very temperamental with different TVs. So you really had to kind of dig in and finagle the configuration files on your Raspberry Pi to get it to work, and most of the time you could be successful. So I was very apprehensive about trying this again until it said, listen, the Raspberry Pi 4s have, native 4K display, updated graphics, stuff, more power, whatever. So but the problem is that there wasn't good emulation options on a Raspberry Pi 4. But now with the release of the RetroPie software for Raspberry Pi 4, I gave it a shot, and it works, but not well.
Oh, don't tell me that. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah,
that's bad
well,
news. Okay.
So full disclaimer, I'm doing this on a 4K TV. It is a Vizio.
Okay.
It's not the most expensive television in the world, but it's a nice 60-some inch television, okay? The emulation that I have done on this thing so far has been not great from a display perspective. At first, I was getting a lot of flickering that I was able to, again, go in and bury myself in config files to get rid of the flickering. But certain games definitely work better than others. And I'm sure that if I spent more time with it, I could probably find the right settings. But listen, if I have to like tweak per game what settings I need to use, I'm sort of out, right? So, I want to use the menu, pick a game, and play.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the emulation and the Raspberry, emulating in general is just like the mindlessness of it. Just get a ROM, hit go, boom. And the RetroPie stuff makes a really nice interface for navigating all that, with the controller.
Totally.
Yeah, it's supposed to be just, hey, I don't want to think about emulation. I just want to, get ROMs and play. So that's kind of disappointing. So it's not just per emulator. It's actually like per game. You have
let me be fair. Okay. So
to be fair,
we played some NES games and they seemed okay-ish. Okay. We played some Genesis games, and most of them were fine. Super Nintendo games in particular were problematic. And maybe it was the emulator I was using because, you have a choice of emulators. Mm-hmm. Maybe I could try a different one and it would work a little bit better, but like the Mode 7 graphics, there was a lot of screen tearing.
Oh, that's no good.
Now I think there's ways to get it to play at a different resolution, like get it to display like something at a smaller resolution. I don't know how that's going to look on my TV, and I got to find the setting that lets you do that, but I'm not quite ready to give up yet, but I've been pretty disappointed so far. Now, I have 1080p televisions in the house that in a pinch, I could just hook it up to that and be fine.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't be concerned. So I could probably do that. But I really want this to work in my upstairs television where the nice TV is. But to be continued, to be continued. I'll continue to play with it and figure it out. But it's been challenging.
So, what is your go-to when you're emulating? What is your go-to video game?
I don't know. I have quite a collection of things that I emulate that I own the physical copy of. We should probably disclaimer that.
Yeah. Sometimes emulation involves piracy. Ta-da!
Yeah,
there you
go.
But
I'm not a lawyer. But not us.
No.
But not us. Mm-mm. Not us. Nope. We own all the games we emulate. Mm-mm. And what was I playing? I was playing some classic like side scrollers. Nothing crazy. Like sometimes I'll get a bird or get a bee in my bonnet to go play like A Link to the Past or like a classic Zelda game or something. But I don't know. Sometimes I just like to boot up the emulator and play like something that I could play for like 15 minutes and get bored.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I get that. Yeah.
Yeah. Last topic before we wrap this up. So let's talk logistics for the live stream next week.
Let's do that.
So we will put a link in the show notes to the YouTube channel we're gonna broadcast this on. We will be tweeting it out probably a couple times next week when we're gonna be ready to do it. Like we said, it'll be 9:00 Eastern time when we go live. Paul, you and I should probably get together and make sure that everything works the way we want it to work.
Yeah.
Prior to that,
we absolutely should.
So, yeah. And then, we'll go live and we'll do the recording, and you can see how it all works. And maybe we'll share the doc in the middle of the page or something. I don't know. I have to build the OBS scenes, which I will probably do this week.
I'm excited for that. I'm kind of excited to see what you put into it. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Okay, now I have a homework assignment for us.
Ooh.
All right. So in preparation for the 50th episode, we're going to do the thing that all the TV shows do on their 50th episodes, and that's going to be talk about stuff we've already done.
Oh, a clip show?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
So, I mean, obviously it'll give us a chance to interact with our listeners, and it'd be interesting to hear what they have to say about it. But what I would like to do is for each of us to pick our favorite moments of the podcast.
Okay.
Favorite topics, favorite moments, things that we thought were funny and that we can all relive together.
Okay.
So I say we each pick 2.
I'm on it.
Okay. All right. And there might be other fun surprises and things that happen during the live show that I'm planning as well. But we'll see.
You got all kinds of stuff planned for me.
I have a very vivid imagination. I have a very vivid imagination.
I'm excited. I'm dancing in my chair.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll make sure that we, as things go forward, we'll make sure we put a lot of thing on Twitter. I will put links to the channel on the website as well. When we go live, we'll post we'll send tweets out for the links. You can watch the live stream. I'll probably even try putting that on the website as well, even though Libsyn does not update their websites in real time and maybe a little delayed. But yeah, and obviously we'll leave that. I imagine we'll plan on leaving that video up there. So if you don't catch it live, you can, watch it at your leisure and see how it's going. I've also been posting the last couple of podcasts out there just to have videos. Obviously, there's just audio only videos, right? There's just our logo on there just to kind of make sure it works. And hey, we've already got Twitter spam. YouTube spam. I had to clean up, so that was cute.
Oh, really?
Like literally within minutes. So I made the channel, right, and I wanted to make sure I could upload a video to it. And mostly I was testing, because you have to, verify to have a video longer than, 15 minutes, right? So I'm like, well, I can just add it as a source in Libsyn and push a button, and then it would just basically create a video and upload it up there. And I wanted to try that just to see if it worked. And I had created the channel and uploaded the video, and within, a minute, this guy was posting, hey, great channel, loved your video, I want to be YouTube friends, and it's like...
Nice.
It's physically impossible for you to have actually watched the video because it's an hour long and you posted within a minute. So I've blocked him. Then posting the most recent podcast out there within 30 seconds, we got a porn link as a comment. So I had to go and clean that up as well because, the children. So, there must be bots that just kind of scrape the YouTube feed and just go nuts. Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's all right. It's the internet.
It is the internet, and weird things can happen on the internet.
That is true.
Sure.
That is true.
Cool. All right. Well,
yeah.
I think that's enough for tonight.
Yeah.
We've obviously got a lot of planning to do for our Big 5-0.
Keep this one nice and short.
Journey.
Yeah. Get ready for next week.
Keep this one nice and short.
Yep. I'm excited.
All right, let's wrap.
Excited. Yeah.
Let's wrap. Where can people find us, Paul?
Yeah, we are on the internet at doingtheirbest.com. You can find us on Twitter at doingbestpod, and you can find me at Paul Baylor. That's Bahler. And where can we find you, Drew?
I'm over on Twitter at Pittsburgh, Pittfurg.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Well, we will see, hopefully, most of you on the live stream next week, and look for more updates as they happen.
Awesome.
Until then, have fun. Stay safe.
Thanks for listening.